Hello my friends, γεια σας φίλοι μου, to Dagamon here. In this video I'm going to benchmark Conan Exiles on a single GTX 970. As always, this is a digital recording at 60 frames per second, which is done on an external recorder. So what you will see in this video will be pure performance. For this run I'm using my old Core i7-860, which is overclocked to 4 GHz. Let me push it a little. There we are. The system has 12 GB of memory and the graphics card is a single GTX 970, a Gigabyte G1 model, latest firmware installed, and it is also overclocked, so it will be boosting at 1.5 GHz. For this benchmark I'm going to do a custom gameplay run. I will benchmark with fraps. We will see the basic result in this file and some analysis at the end of the video. So let me launch the game and let's see how it runs on this system. Settings first, 1080p resolution, no vertical sync of course, motion blur I don't like and avoid in most of my videos due to image quality reasons, not a real performance impact. Ultra preset and uncapped frame rate of course, not that the GTX 970 can reach that high frame rate in this game. So let me load my benchmarking location. Let me grab something to eat and something to drink. No, I have not forgotten to start the benchmark. My benchmark starts here, and now let's see how it runs on this system. What?
take you!
The graphics are very beautiful. It is not running too bad, but it is at 45 frames per second most of the time.
You picked the wrong fight! Gods take you! Taste death! Curse you! Die! Taste death! Gods take you! Die! You picked the wrong fight! Curse you! Gods take you! Die! take you!
Fuck you, bitch. Okay, enough benchmarking data. The average frame rate was 48 frames per second. Not too bad performance. The game is indeed quite playable. It is not as smooth as on the GTX 1070, of course, but still not bad. We do have some spikes here and there. I would prefer if it was a little bit smoother. As we can see, the frame rate is decent. The problem lies within the frame times. A lot of huge spikes throughout the run. The game is quite heavy in all aspects. It needs a lot of RAM, a lot of GPU power, a lot of CPU power. We don't have a CPU limit in this run, however. The GPU usage is maxed out. CPU usage in the hyper-threaded cores is not very easy to determine, but it seems medium. CPU temps are fine. RAM usage at 8.2 gigabytes, quite demanding. CPU temps are okay, GPU temps are okay. The core clock is at 1.5 GHz indeed. Video RAM usage is also very high. It has passed the 3.5 gigabytes of the GTX 970. It has gone up to 3.9 gigabytes. Maybe this is why we are having all these spikes in the frame times. The power of the card is close to 80%. Beautiful. So now let me see if I can do a comparison with my GTX 1070 run, Conan Exiles Ultra. I think that this program is set on my yes, it is on my 2500, so I can open this Conan Sandbox CSV, which is my GTX 1070, and now I can open my GTX 970 and 860. I will need to go to my Z drive, benchmarks, and this one is my Conan Sandbox at 47.8 frames per second. Yes, this is the one I want. So we have a true comparable frame rate of 37 frames per second instead of 48. This has to do with variability and the stuttering. The average of the frame times was not very high at 21 milliseconds. It was only 16 on the GTX 1070. A quite big difference, of course. Here we can see the visualization of the frame times throughout the run. I expected it to look a little worse, to tell you the truth. We do see these spikes registered in MSI Afterburner as well. They are not terrible, but they are not the smoothest they could be. Of course, it is an Unreal Engine 4 open world game. It is very heavy for all systems. Even my GTX 1070 barely hit 60 frames per second. Frame times above 16.7 milliseconds are a lot. The vast majority of the frame times, unfortunately, not a very good metric for gaming. and we can see in the histogram as well that most of the frame times are at 16, 17, 20, 25, very slow frame times. This is a comparison of the two runs as accurately as I could done it. We see that the time is very similar. I try to keep the same path, and we can see of course that the frame times are higher on the GTX 970, lower on the 1070, which is a good thing. We need low frame times for good performance. Let's see the frame rate, which is of course higher on the GTX 1070, quite higher actually. It was to be expected, and keep in mind that the 1070 did have a CPU limit, a quite big CPU limit. The 970 does not have a CPU limit from the 860 in this game, and it is also running a newer version of the game. This is important as well. Not that there are huge differences in the two versions, but this one is obviously better, and still the 1070 is running a lot better. Maybe I will have to do a newer run. Min, max and average chart. It looks a lot better on the 1070 of course, mainly due to the average. Variability and stuttering also higher on the 970 by a little. Still this can make a difference. The percentiles also much better on the GTX 1070, not stellar but better sure. Time spent beyond chart. And of course the comparable frame rate overlaid with the stuttering and the variability. As you can see, even the 1070 feels more close to 50 frames per second, not 63 that the benchmark gave us, let alone 37 of the GTX 970. Quite interesting game this one, quite heavy. It will be a very good benchmark. You can have a look if you want. Thank you very much for watching for now, and I will see you in my next video.